Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, and welcome to today's webinar on the power of awesome product content. My name is Scott Freimeyer. I'm with the marketing team here at Unilog. For those of you not familiar with Unilog, we are an e-commerce provider to the B2B marketplace. We're going to talk more about Unilog later in the presentation, but I really want to focus on why we're all here today, which is to talk about the business impact that really robust product data and product content can have on your digital commerce strategy. We're going to look at some really good examples of product content. We're going to look at some not so good examples of product content and drive home, again, the business impact that it can have on your organization. So I'd like to start by highlighting an article that one of our customers, Grant Mavold with Mark Supply, they're up in Ontario, Canada. This article that our customer submitted to Industrial Distribution Magazine, in which they detailed their e-commerce journey and a lot about their strategy when it came to product content. And I thought Grant had a really poignant point here, which was many distributors that he speaks with often focus 95% or more of their e-commerce strategy on the website itself, and they give very little thought to the product content. And Grant says, in his opinion, he thinks that's wrong. Content is equally important as the e-commerce site itself, and that's how he provides true value to his customers and how he fends off the big box competition. So Grant goes on in the article to talk about some of the business impacts they've had, but I just thought that was a very important point to call out and something that we see often. It really should be more of a 50-50 balance. When you think of launching your new e-commerce site, of course the design of the site and the features and capabilities are important, but if you neglect a strategy for product content, your business will suffer and you're not going to reap the rewards that a true digital commerce channel can have for your business. Now, you're saying, Scott, hold on here. You keep saying product content, product data. Can you be a little bit more specific? What are we talking about here? So I'm on a website, Town&Country HARDWARE. This is another Unilog customer. And I did a search for DeWalt angle grinder. Now, I have my results here, but what am I going to see when I click into that first result? What am I going to see on that product detail page? Am I going to see multiple product images and a really good description and robust set of specs and attributes? Or am I going to see a pretty barren page with not a lot of good useful information? All right, that's the product data and the content that we're talking about. We're going to see some really good examples in a moment. But first, just a reminder why this is so critical. When you have great product content on your site, first and foremost, it attracts search engines. You have to give Google and others something to index. You have to give them a reason to want to show your product pages on page 1 of the Google search results when people are looking for the products that you distribute. So important to your SEO strategy. Great product content also educates and answers questions for your customers, gives them the information they need. It helps build trust in the products that you distribute and the relationship you have with your customers, and it shows off your product knowledge. So much of your differentiation as a business is about your knowledge of the products that you distribute. You have to find ways to get that information online so your customers and your buyers can see that. And ultimately, great product content helps convert visitors into buyers. When that trust is there, when they have all the answers at their fingertips, they're more likely to convert on a sale. On the flip side, if you have really poor product content, it does keep your site hidden. It's going to be hard for anybody to search for a specific manufacturer part number or an item and land on your site if you don't have that robust product content. It does force customers to call you, which, hey, you say, well, that's not a bad thing. I want to talk to my customers, of course. But when you have the ability to allow customers to self-serve and get a quick answer on your e-commerce site versus having to call into your business, that's a waste of their time. If they just need a quick answer, if you can provide that in the content and the product information you have, that's going to be much more of a convenience to your customers. Poor product content obviously creates a negative first impression, and we're going to see what those first impressions look like in just a second. And ultimately, let's face it, when you have poor product content on your site, you're much more likely to send your buyers to a competitor who does have really good product information and who can answer the questions that your customers are looking for. So remember, your digital branch is all about convenience. It's great that we get incremental sales, Okay, it's great that we can expand our brand presence, but we really want to provide convenience to our customers and our buyers, and great product content does that. So here's some examples, right? I told you I was going to show you some not great examples of product content. Here's one, and it's pretty obvious why. The first thing I see is there's no product image available. Right. In fact, it even has a footnote underneath here. It says the actual item may differ from the product photo. Well, I hope so in this case. And hey, listen, I'm not here to poke fun at anybody. In fact, that's why I hid the logos and the URLs from these screenshots. I understand this is hard work, especially if you have a catalog of tens to hundreds of thousands to maybe millions of SKUs that you distribute. Having robust product content for that entire catalog is a difficult chore. So I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but I am pointing out an example of really lackluster product content because there is no image, no model number, no description, no specs or attributes. I do give them credit. They show price. They have list price on there, and I think that's important to be transparent, although this item is out of stock. Here's another example. Again, what's missing? Well, no image, no price and availability. Description's the same as the item name, and there's no specs or attributes. You know what this is akin to? Think of if you launched a new branch location, and if you have a front counter or you have a showroom. If you just had shelves with brown boxes on the shelves with no information on the outside of the brown box about what's in the box, that's what this feels like. There's no picture, there's no specs or attributes, there's no description. How likely am I to purchase that item if I don't even have the information I need to make an educated purchase? Another example. And this is one that I see all too often with wholesale distribution websites. You go out there, they have products listed, but there's no images, not very little information. And if you want the product information, you click that link there and it takes you to the manufacturer's site. Well, I'll tell you, that's the last behavior we want to encourage. We want our buyers and our customers to stay on our site. We don't want to send them off to a manufacturer site or to any other website that might provide better product content. Again, this also has no image, lackluster description, no specs and attributes, a recurring theme here. And believe me, I did not have to look too long and hard to find these examples. It might have taken 15 minutes to go out there, search on some distributor names I know, and pull up their product detail pages. This is so prevalent in the industry, you would not believe. And here's one final example. This is not even a product detail page. This is a product browse page. So before I even get to the individual products, I have my category browse. Again, what's the first thing that jumps out? There's no images. Half of the product categories don't even have an image. There's a category here for CPAP supplies in that top row. They have 335 CPAP supplies that they distribute, and they couldn't come up with one image to represent that entire catalog. Does this instill confidence in you as a buyer? I don't think so. I don't think this is doing much to build trust. This is not doing much to help me convert on a sale. When I guarantee if they can't even come up with a category image, when I go further down and drill down into the product detail pages, it's probably going to be a lot of the same. All right, so when I see websites like this, I often think of Clara Peller. You say, okay, Scott, who's Clara Peller? Well, for those of you who maybe grew up in the 80s like myself, Clara Peller was the actress on the Wendy's Where's the Beef commercial. You remember this? This was the three women went into the Wendy's and they see this beautiful hamburger, or well, it wasn't a Wendy's, it was a fast food restaurant, another one. They saw this beautiful hamburger bun, big, giant, beautiful, fluffy hamburger bun, and then they opened it up and there's this little tiny beef patty. And she would scream into the phone, "Where's the beef? Where's the beef?" It became a cultural catchphrase back around, I think it was 1984 or so. And I feel like some of these websites are the same way. You have a nice looking website, very functional, but where's the beef? There's no product content to show off. And that's so important to your strategy, as Grant Mavold said at the opening. So let's go back to that Town and Country Hardware site that we started with, because I want to show you an example of what I feel is really good product content. So I'm going to click into that product detail page for that DeWalt angle grinder. And what do I see? The first thing that jumps out at me, multiple product images to select. Nice, clean, crisp product images. I can see kind of brochure type images. I can see images of the tool in action, right? I have a complete product name, the model number, the UPC. So, you know, if I have manufacturer part number, if I have my own part number as a business or my own store SKU, I can display that there. I get pricing and availability. But let's scroll down the page a little bit because this is where we really get into the detail here. You can see this tabular format where on the box here, I'm looking at the description. Nice, very legible English-speaking description here of what the item is, right? It's not just a bunch of specs. It's something I can actually read as a sentence. I go over to the specifications, so I can see the battery voltage, the cord length, the spindle size, the wheel diameter, all that's there for me to browse. A list of all the features and the selling benefits of this particular tool. I have product reviews. So we have 11 product reviews here, mostly good. It's just another form of content, right? And we think of product reviews as being highly relevant in the B2C space, but more and more in B2B, people still want to see those product reviews because, again, it instills trust and confidence in the purchase they're making. And then the related documents. So you may have a catalog, spec sheet, SDS, videos of how to use this tool. Maybe it's an installation manual for a certain part. There's all types of documents and product content that you could have housed here. So I think Town & Country does a really good job with their product content. And again, just think back to some of the examples we just looked at that weren't so good. What a striking difference. And how much more likely is this company to get my business? Here's another one in the B2B space, Quality Mill, industrial supplier. And I think Quality Mill does a fantastic job with their product content. This is another Unilog customer. And how do I know they do a great job with their product content? Well, I can look at it and make an assessment. We'll see what their product content looks like in a second. But Google tells me they do a really good job with their product content, because if I come out here and search on something like a 3M side spoke cutoff wheel, who comes up number 3 and 4 in the search results, in the organic search results on Google? It's Quality Mill Supply. Okay, 3M came up number 1. Well, it's expected. I'm searching for a 3M part. There's another M-Source 3M distributor there, and then you have Quality Mill in both the 3 and 4 spots on Google. Okay, and by the way, I searched in incognito mode, just so you know. So all these, there's none of my personal preference are saved in this search. Okay, this is a completely anonymous search. I did cut out some of the sponsored ads at the top, so it was this screenshot does remove some of the sponsored ads because I'm really focused on just the organic search results. So I'm going to, for that same part number, I'm going to put in the actual manufacturer part number. And look who comes up number 1 on page 1 of Google. It's Quality Mill, ahead of 3M, the manufacturer themselves. I put the manufacturer part number in, and I got Quality Mill's site number 1. I bet you they're getting a lot of traffic for that part if people are looking for that part number. Okay, it's not Amazon, it's not Grainger, it's not 3M, it's Quality Mill Supply. Great product content. That's the impact it has. Here's another one. I'm looking for a Michigan Drill 1 1/16 inch annular cutter. And number 3 on page 1 of Google. There's Quality Mill again, just a different part, different item. Amazon did come up number 1 on this. Michigan Drill number 2. Amazon, hey, how much do you think Amazon spends on their e-commerce channel every year versus Quality Mill? I'd say Quality Mill is getting pretty good bang for the buck there when they're coming up number 3. So what does the content look like on Quality Mill's website? Well, here's a perfect example. I have a heavy-duty screw anchor. All right, again, I see multiple product images. I see the Quality Mill part number, the manufacturer part number, the UPC. And then down where you see the red arrow there, again, the description, a nice robust description in natural language. I see as specifications, long list of specifications, long list of features, and all the guides and manuals. That's for something as simple as this tiny little heavy-duty screw anchor. That's a lot of content, but that's what's driving traffic to their site. And the business impact is that Quality Mill, since launching their new e-commerce site with Unilog and incorporating this really robust catalog of product content that we helped with, they've seen a 24x increase in site traffic in the first year alone. They went from only 500 sessions a month to their e-commerce channel to now they do more than 12,000 after 1 year. 12,000 sessions every month. 67% of their traffic is from organic search. So we talked about how important that is when they're getting traffic from Google or other search engines. And 20% of their sales are new business. So they've seen a 7x increase in sales via their digital branch. And so much of that they credit to the quality of the product content they have on their site. Really, really important business business impact there. Here's another customer of Unilog's, Hirsch Pipe and Supply. So I want to talk about, obviously, search engines, right? Content helps drive search engines traffic to your site. It helps answer questions for customers, but it also has a big impact on the taxonomy and the browse and filter capabilities on your site. So on Hirsch Pipe and Supply, you can see they're looking for this a plastic fitting there, an elbow fitting, and it comes. You can filter by 45 degrees, 60-degree elbow, the different fitting or connector type, or maybe you want to filter by the material or the brands or other categories. If you were selling hose, maybe it's a hose length, right? You want to filter by the hose length. So that's really important because it's the product content, all the specs and attributes that are dictating those filter capabilities on your site. I've seen a number of e-commerce sites for distributors where I go out and I'm looking for an item and it gives me different sizes to filter by. And sometimes it says 3.5 inches, and sometimes a little further down in the filter it says 3.5 inches. Well, that's the same measurement, but it's just nobody has normalized the product data. So you have two different categories for the same exact measurement size, but you have different products in each measurement size because you're getting parts from multiple suppliers and manufacturers, and some people might call it 3.5 inches, some people might call it 3.5 inches. You need to normalize that to have really good product content because that impacts your browse capabilities on your site. It also, product content impacts not only site search on Google and other search engines, but it impacts the site search on your site. Now, probably more than half of your customers and buyers are going right to your search field on your site to find the item they need. And if you don't have really robust product content for those items, you're not going to have a good search experience. So in this case, Mallory Supply, a safety distributor, again, Unilog customer, when you start typing in the search field, I was typing for a, looks like a protective glasses. And as soon as I start typing protect, it brought up, it predicted what I was looking for, and it brought up a whole bunch of options for me. Everything from brand categories to specific items. And you can see there, the items have the name, the description, images in the predictive search before I even get to the search results page. So product content has a big impact on site search itself. You know who does not do a great job with the organization of their content on their site? It's one of these big national brands, and I'm sure you can see the logo there. Listen, they have good content, but sometimes the way it's organized just doesn't make sense to the buying experience. So I came to this site and I searched on a Hillman 0.8 by 5 millimeter zinc-plated steel hex nut. So I think that's a pretty specific search for a pretty specific item. Yet somehow I got 617 individual results in the search pages. I'm going to have to browse through 617 results to see what I need? Well, the truth of the matter is most of these items are exactly the same. They're just sold in different quantities, or sometimes there may be a slightly different size. Even though I search for a specific size, it showed me different sizes. Wouldn't it be so much better if they just consolidated some of these results? So if I wanted a different plating or a different size or a different quantity, it was just one result and I could choose what quantities or plating or attributes I wanted, right? Too many search results for the same item, it hurts the customer experience. You don't want 617 results. So here let's go back to Mallory's site. Again, they distribute safety supplies, safety equipment. So they have some, I think they're cut resistant gloves here that we searched on, these high flex work gloves. And instead of showing me a separate search result for all 6 different sizes of the same glove, because that just clutters up my search result page, when you click on the item, it says view 6 choices. Then you click on the item, then you see how the different pricing for the different sizes. Much better customer experience. So product data, product content, it's not just about the driving traffic to your site and the search results and answering questions, but it's about the customer experience too. How well you have that product data and product content organized on your site. What kind of taxonomy is it? Does it have very specific product families that things are grouped in that makes logical sense, like this work glove? creates a much better customer experience. So the point I'm making is it's the same point again that Grant made in that article for Industrial Distribution magazine. It's commerce plus content is what drives success in your digital channel. It's not just the commerce aspect. You have to have a strategy for good product content. You should be putting equal emphasis on both of those, both of those camps if you really want to drive success. And I hope I've been able to demonstrate that to you today with some of the examples. Again, I'll just highlight for those not familiar with Unilog, we are the provider of powerful, affordable B2B e-commerce solutions. And I choose those words very carefully, powerful and affordable, because many of us think that if you have a powerful e-commerce platform, it has to cost an arm and a leg. Or if I have an affordable e-commerce platform, I don't get the leading progressive B2B capabilities that I would need for my digital branch. And at Unilog, we're here to say, we believe those terms are not mutually exclusive. You can have both, and that's what we've been delivering to our customer year over year. In addition to the e-commerce platform itself, so we can build your e-commerce site, give you the platform to manage it, but we can also help with your product content. A big portion of our business is product content services. We actually enrich more than 250,000 products every month across our entire customer base. So we help you take product detail pages that look like the one on the left, very similar to some of the examples we looked at earlier, and we can help them make them look like the product detail page you see on the right-hand side of the screen, with all of the descriptions, the specs, the attributes, the features, the images, the videos. Right? What a stark difference. And by the way, you don't have to be on Unilog's e-commerce platform in order for us to do the product content for you. We can do that independently. We'd be happy to. If you're an e-commerce platform customer, we're just as happy with that, of course, but this is independent of the platform itself. And our customers will vouch for the quality of our content. Our friend Jeff over at the Macomb Group said he will put Unilog's product content up against anybody's. They are second to none. Jeff, we certainly appreciate that vote of confidence there. And I'll leave you with one last bit of information. If you'd like to do some research, if you're looking at an e-commerce platform provider, or you're looking at somebody who might be doing product content services, there was a report put out by an analyst, Andy Hoare with Paradigm B2B. He puts his annual Combine report out on all the sort of mid-market e-commerce vendors that are out there. And we're happy to say that this year, Unilog actually led all 16 mid-market e-commerce vendors with the most gold medals in Andy's evaluation and most overall medal points. So you can see there we were awarded 4 gold medals. We medaled in 9 out of 10 categories. It's just validation, I think, of what we believe, that we have a very robust, very strong e-commerce platform that delivers great total cost of ownership for our customers. So you can download that research at our website, www.unilogcorp.com. It's featured right there on the homepage. And certainly visit our website if you have any other questions, or email us, call us. We'd love to talk to you and learn more about what you guys are trying to do with your e-commerce strategy and how we might be able to help, whether it's the e-commerce platform itself or the product content services that we can assist with. Hey, listen, I will say before we close out the webinar, I've spoken to so many distributors who have tried to do that product content on their own. They said, you know what, we have a team of a few people internally and we're going to try to bang this out. Let's start going at it with our catalog. We only have about 250,000 SKUs we need to get through. And they quickly realize it's a futile effort. It is a Herculean task to go through your entire product catalog and do that on your own. And most of them eventually, after a few months, wave the white flag. We've had customers that told us what they did, what it took them over a year to do, we were able to do in a month at Unilog. So let us help you. Don't spin your wheels and waste your time. We can help you get up and live with great product content fast and get you guys to start realizing the business impacts that can have. So thanks again for your time today. Please let us know if you have any questions, and we look forward to the next webinar topic. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.